Welcome to the Keepers of the Candles, the title of this this little group of D&D that we've been running so far. Who knows if we'll come up with a better title in the future? Maybe this group will sort of stumble upon one or create one for themselves, but for now, despite none of you ever having been to Candlekeep, nor do you keep candles or really even libraries of any kind, y'all are the Keepers of the Candles. Easier to keep things separate that way. Last time on the Keepers of the Candles, you guys were in the town of Mayrin. There we go, Mayrin. You were headed away from Mayrin because you discovered a treasure map tucked into the pages of an old, dusty, beaten up tome of some kind. It has wooden covers and is bound together by like thin wire. It's been quite abused, it looks like. It's all the pages have a lot of water damage. What pages remain, there's all sorts of scratches and peck marks all over the thing. You guys actually found a raven pecking at it when you first discovered it. Most of the pages are missing, but this map was sort of plastered to the inside of one of the covers, and it appeared to be more recent. One of you uncovered the first waypoint on this map, the first landmark that you all noticed, was Witchway. This is the town which you all awaken this morning, having traveled across the forests and tracked down this location. Fortunately, a couple of members of your party knew roughly where this was and were able to lead you here. You weren't sure what you would find here, you just knew the map was leading you here, and so you camped a little bit outside the town, just in case. You had only recalled that it was abandoned long ago. Traffic and the economy sort of shifted away from it over the years, and it could no longer really sustain the lifestyle people wanted here, and so they moved on. Most of which moved to Mayrin, the town you came from. As you took watch and camped out for the evening, Joanna, your character, whose name, Queniana? Yeah, I'm going to ask this every time. Queniana, thank you. Queniana was ambushed in the evening, and as you awoke all the others, barely breaking free from its grasp to let out a scream to alert everyone, two more visitors in the night showed up. In total, there was a shadow, a boneless, fleshy figure, and a skeleton throwing vials of acid at you. Fortunately, while there were some bruises and, well, pretty serious wounds in some cases, you guys took care of them pretty quickly, and no one was seriously or permanently hurt. So you returned to bed, keeping watch once again, and awoke the next morning. And that is where we find ourselves this morning. It is the start of a new day. You all have long rested. I believe we did that at the end of last session, but if not, you may do that.
Does strength drain get reset with a long rest?
It does.
Okay, cool.
Your strength is reset to its normal value. This time, earth, wind, and fire. Indeed. So, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Soren, I think you were the one to kill the bones. Okay, just keeping track. You melted the bones with a lot of fire, right? I think that was how that went. Okay. Cool.
That sounds correct.
But I don't think you guys have ventured very far into the town to see anything beyond that, so. Alright, cool.
Yeah, we got here very late.
The day is yours. I will admit, this map here, as pretty as it is, I did not make it. It's a Patreon asset. Actually, no, this one came from the DM's Guild. That's where I purchased this one. But either way, I mostly intended this as a battle map. You guys can walk around it and see the sights if you want. Yeah, you can look around, see if you can uncover anything by some checks or whatever, if you're interested in what you might find here in Witchway. What are y'all doing?
Do any of the buildings have like signs on them saying if they're a shop or something?
Do any of the buildings have signs on them? Everything here is pretty rotten and broken down.
Did we search the bodies?
I don't know that you did.
I think the ones we were able to kill were either disintegrated or just like melted into nothing.
What about the
I'm
like?
pretty sure there's nothing left of that skeleton.
Skeleton.
What about the
ashes.
single person?
They got
It was
away.
just
We got away.
flesh. No, we killed all three.
I
Did
thought
we?
There was like the person who was
So-
throwing stuff at us.
That was the skeleton. There was a skeleton wearing clothes throwing acid at you.
Oh,
Yeah, the skeleton got turned to pretty much ashes. It got just annihilated. The flesh is a pile of flesh. It wasn't wearing anything. Nothing really to look through. And the shadow just evaporated.
Quick question: how big is this like stone wall thing? Because it's gonna be a problem for me to just walk straight over it, or
For someone of your stature, it might take a little bit of a hop and kind of pull yourself over it, but it's a few feet high.
all right.
You're only
Just
like
gonna
what,
do that
2'8",
then.
2'10", something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a couple
2'8".
feet high, so you're gonna have to really hop up there. You're gonna kind of grab it by with your armpits and kind of scramble up over it. But
you're 2 feet 8 inches tall.
That's tall for my race.
Damn.
I'm still waiting for you to hit my shin with something.
Well, it's not nighttime yet, so you're still you're not in stasis mode yet, where it's safe.
Could I fly up high and see if there's anything that catches my eye?
Sure. So you can fly up into the air and look around. Give me a perception check. Just a bird's eye
Nice.
view of the place. Unfortunately, I mean, what you see from up in the air is, I mean, the mist of the early morning dew rising from the ground around here. Everything's just so rotten. It's so dirty and like unorderly that it's hard to make out anything in the mess. You know what I mean? It's hard to make out like that one detail in the the one needle in the haystack out of all of the details that are down below you. It just kind of muddles together into one big green and brown mess. It's hard to
Alright.
tell.
Are the foundations I see like rotting wood mostly, or is there stone structure still there?
The foundations you see are mostly stone. The very few of the buildings still have any wood left on them. There's a couple of them here that have little roofs. Those are pretty much barely standing. The only one that seems to be in any condition to like weather against the elements is the one to the south here. Yeah, that one.
Incidentally, that was the one that I was interested in looking at.
I would like to first briefly scan the stonework, see if there's any like carvings that I can see through the moss.
Okay. Yeah, give me an investigation check. All right, so you scrape off the moss and try to see if there's anything on the stonework here, and everything here has been pretty smoothed down and eroded. It's been many years, but you also get the feeling with a very high check that it hasn't been so many years that would have eroded through very deep cuts that were super intentional, and it doesn't look like there were anything sort of carved into the stone intentionally or with intent to last a long time.
Okay, and that building to the south, that's this one here?
That's right.
Can I go inside of it?
There is a door that appears much more fresh than the rest of the building.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Knock, knock, knock. No response. Silence from inside.
Just wanted to check since that door looks newer. Try the handle next.
It is locked.
Or if it doesn't have a handle, push.
Yeah,
It's locked,
It is
you
locked
say?
indeed.
Can I use?
Is there a hole in the roof?
The roof has little holes in it. I wouldn't say there's a large hole. You could go down the chimney potentially.
Can I use my thieves' tools to try to open said lock?
You could certainly try. Give me. About 2 questions. You have thieves' tools on your person?
Yes.
All right, and are you proficient in them?
It says proficient.
Sweet. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll your thieves' tools.
Use thieves' tools. Normal.
Oof, excellent. You just walk up casually to the door and click, click, click. It only takes you. You're a professional at this, and this was not a very sophisticated lock. You can do these in your sleep. You pop the little lock off the door entirely. It's just a little padlock keeping it closed, and you're able to swing it open freely. It creaks and grinds as it opens, so it's not super freely opening, but you know what I mean.
Nice job with the lock there. That's something I should probably learn at some point.
Thank you. I was built to use my hands, so.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
And
I head in, keeping an eye out in particular for anyone hiding or any traps that look like they might spring at us.
All right. Give me an investigation check then if you're looking around as you enter and trying to uncover anything hidden.
Oh no.
You don't see anything hidden in here. You don't see any traps or anything. But what you do see is a cot, which looks relatively fresh compared to the surrounding area. A cauldron, a set of alchemy supplies, and quite a few ingredients hanging from various things around the room. Whether they're various herbs that have been set out to dry, but they've been drying for far too long and are much. They've gone bad at this point, or little bits and bobs and vials and things around this place.
Anybody here use alchemy or vials and stuff and want to just nick it while we're here?
how old does the fire under the cauldron look?
The cauldron is not lit. I should have specified.
Yeah, but are there like any ashes or
Oh, I
something
see what you're saying.
underneath that seem old?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Survival. Ah,
I mean, if best you can tell is it wasn't lit last night.
okay. That's kind of what I was asking.
Fair enough.
Quick question. When it says these things are newer, are they like new-ish looking or just like
Not rotten.
completely disintegrated?
Yeah, not completely disintegrated. And also you can tell in a few places, like, especially on that door, it looks like perhaps an old door was taken out, and you can see where much larger, older hinges were taken away and newer, smaller hinges were put into place. Not quite fitting, but still sort of nailed into place. It doesn't seem like it was, a professional job. It was just all sort of makeshift, but perhaps the door broke and they needed a new one, so they got a new one.
Any books, journals, papers, notes?
Make me another investigation check. Alright, so you look around this little hut here, which is mostly one large room here. You sort of enter in past the fireplace. The door is sort of actually more on Zinro's, sorry, not Zinro, Zandri's side, over on the right. Don't know where Zinro came from, but That's Ryan's character. I got them swapped. The Z names. Zandri's character over on the right. That's where the door is more, kind of where near Liam and Ryan's characters are. So you enter in on that side near the fireplace, and it's just sort of one large room. You look around, see that cauldron by the fire. Then you have the idea to check under the cot, and there's a very obvious little wooden panel on the floor. The rest of this floor here is stone, very rough stone, but it's just a stone foundation, and all dirty and stuff. And then there's just this one wooden tile just sort of laid out under the bed. So you
Pull it up.
Yep.
All right.
Well, check for traps.
That'll be another investigation check.
Sometimes you just gotta throw caution to the wind.
Take a dart to the forehead.
That's
Yeah,
what
well, I intend to live to my full lifespan, so maybe not.
happened.
You look around, you don't see anything like strings attached to it anywhere. You kind of, lift it up very carefully by just the edge to peek under it to see if you can see anything down there, and doesn't look like anything too fancy.
Alright, I open the thing up.
Slide the panel aside and it kind of clatters across the floor, kicks dust up everywhere, and the bits of dirt and moss get peeled off the floor. And there's just
Hope nobody has allergies.
Do any of you have allergies?
And can my robot cough?
Probably not.
How do I roll for allergies?
Roll for allergies. If you want to roll for allergies, it'll be a D100. What is the
Yeah.
owl allergic to?
I started just clicking buttons. Wait. I'm learning how the rolling thing works in real time. There we go. I
Hey,
figured
okay.
it out.
Zinro does not have allergies, but Soren does. You are very allergic to dust, Soren.
All right.
Which is very unfortunate because, you work for... you're a cleric of the god of knowledge. You work in a lot of dusty libraries sometimes, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Pretty rough, but...
I just kicked up a whole bunch of dust and dirt and mold by just chucking this wooden tile when I was done with it, which is why I asked.
Well,
Alright, Soren, roll for damage.
Yeah, it's safe
I'm
to
trying to figure out
say...
an EpiPen and owl joke, but I'll get there eventually.
Safe to say you're not having a great time right now, Soren, but I won't make you roll for anything. It's not life-threatening. But either way, you look into this little hole that's under the bed, sort of carved out into the foundation and then dug down beneath it. Not too deep, but deep enough that it would be out of view a little bit. And inside you find a few items. You find 3 potions. I probably should have looked this up ahead of time, but they all have visual descriptions, I'm sure, that I could give you if you want, or somebody could try to identify them, or just if anyone has any skill with potions.
What check is that?
I would say if you were trying to just, let's see, I would say Arcana or Nature. But if you had proficiency with Alchemist or Herbalist kit, that would work as well.
I think I have multiple things there.
Can I make an Arcana check on it?
You may. Hard to tell.
Alright, I got these potions. Somebody want to drink them to figure out what they are?
Do a herbalism
One of
kit
them
check.
is a little vial that gets narrower as it reaches the top, and is it's like a deep crimson liquid with like almost gold sparkles in it, like gold glitter. Another one is a potion separated into layers of brown, silver, and gray. It almost looks like a profile of stone. And the last one is cloudy green fluid in a very round bottle with a little stopper on top. And it has a jellyfish floating in it.
Oh, huh.
Almost
Is it
Anybody-
almost invisible jellyfish, very translucent.
Anybody know what these do?
I was gonna choose the herbalism kit.
You may indeed. Alright, if I could get a roll for... Actually, you know what? No, that's fine, because I think the first one... If I can get one more roll from you, the first one you can directly make with an herbalism kit, so I'm just going to give you that one. But the other two, you definitely identify the second one, but let's see about the third.
One more.
Yes, please. Alright, that's good enough. It wasn't a terribly difficult check, because you are proficient with alchemist supplies. Or herbalism kit, rather. So the first is a potion of healing. If anyone wants that added to their sheet, I can do that.
Soren, you got messed up pretty bad back there, right?
I slept it off. It was fine.
Hmm?
I slept it off. It's fine.
Yeah, but if that was you, you're likely to get messed up again, so you maybe should keep the potion just in case.
That's fair. I will take it then.
All right. One potion of healing for Soren. The next one is a potion of climbing, which gives you a climbing speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour after drinking the potion. That is the one that looks like rock.
I feel like that should go to one of the taller people.
What was it again?
Either
Or
that or
robot,
it
I
goes to
guess.
one of the short people so that we can get places where you guys can just, like, walk.
Or potentially one of your less athletic people, because it would be athletics to climb something. The potion is a potion of climbing, which makes you basically able to, like, Spider-Man up things for an hour.
Oh, that's cool.
You could
I
just
don't think any of
climb.
us are super athletic.
I'm acrobatic, but not athletic.
Oh, I took athletics. Can't remember now.
What's the third potion?
The third potion is a potion of water breathing, the jellyfish potion. You can breathe underwater for 1 hour after drinking it.
Someone else take that because I don't need to breathe.
Does somebody want to keep track of most, like, inventory things, or are we gonna divvy up all the loot every time we find stuff?
I don't mind if one of you wants to just keep things on their person and figure it out, but that's up to you guys. I would prefer they go onto somebody's character sheet, though.
Yeah, that was my character asking.
Oh, perfect. That's a question that always comes up, though, in the parties, so I was a little confused.
Yeah, fair. That totally makes sense. But yeah,
Okie doke.
still fairly new to this group. Quiniana's just not sure if somebody's gonna be good with numbers and keep track of stuff, or if we split things up.
What do you guys think?
I don't really have a preference, but that doesn't help.
Yeah, I generally like, unless it's like a magic item my character would use. I don't really care about items.
Trevor, Ryan?
I don't think it really matters to me. I can kind of go wherever, because I'm not going to be super interested in carrying a ton of stuff, character-wise.
I guess whoever picks up the loot can have it put on their character sheet, and then we can divvy it up later if we need.
Okay. So
That works.
unless somebody claims the other two potions, I guess they get added to mine.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I guess one important question is there a weight limit for Soren to be able to fly?
Yes. Your normal, just weight limit, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, so I believe as long as you stay under your 120 pounds, you're good to go.
Great, thank you. Powerful wings.
Powerful.
Yeah. I also just wanted to check and give an opportunity in case any of the characters were like super suspicious of outsiders.
Soren's super sheltered. He's gonna get robbed for like his entire existence at some point.
Okay, fair. I'll keep an eye on things. I've been traveling for a good century or more.
DM, this cart over here that we can see, it looks pretty good, but what is its state up here?
Indeed, as you look over there, actually, you point out the cart. There are 3 ravens sitting on top of it.
Ooh, more books.
All 3 of them are looking at you guys, watching you move around the town.
Can I fly over to the ravens?
You can. I mean, all of you guys can move over there if you wish.
Whee!
Going to do
The call.
As you guys
Yeah.
approach, even as you start to
Old for
move
this.
in their direction, the ravens all scatter away in 3 different directions.
Did either of them look familiar to the one we saw earlier?
Give me just a basic intelligence check. This is
Okay.
a very high DC to recall exactly what a raven looked like yesterday.
Okay. Is this saving throw or mod? Not mod.
Just mod. Yep, just mod.
Can I roll with an advantage because I too am a bird?
Not gonna give you that one. Sorry.
All right, I
Alright.
nailed it, right, Jordan? I need to roll over a 1.
Oh no, the birds look
tried.
familiar. Oh
Yo!
boy. Well, maybe Soren is an expert on birds. These
Takes
look
one
like,
to know what.
yeah, these look like different birds. I mean, they're all ravens. None of them look exactly similar to the ones you saw yesterday, but
Can I investigate the cart just to see if there's anything
You may.
interesting on the outside or inside?
yeah, even as you start to look around, without even necessarily needing a roll, there are pages just scattered along the inside of the wagon. It doesn't seem to be carrying any other cargo, but looks like whatever was in here was taken long ago. You can see almost not stain marks, but sort of like places where the sun has peeked in from parts of the wagon and sort of, I guess, stained or tanned parts of the wood inside. But then there's places where there's like shadows, where maybe a crate used to be here and it's not quite the same. But nothing of value in there in any recent span of time, and instead quite a lot of worn out, water damaged pages just scattered in the bed of this wagon.
Well, I pick them all up. Are they anything I can read?
I forget if you were the one of the people who understood it before, because I believe it was Elvish, but these look very familiar to the pages in the book you guys have.
I think that was Sinro or Zandri.
I think it's Soren and Zinro that.
In row.
Hi.
it's
Zimmer
not
is
Soren.
in fact an elf and does speak Elvish, yes.
So just in row.
I thought you were at least able to read it.
Oh, I think it has to do with like the what language Elvish is derivative of, right?
Yes. You could speak Celestial or something, I think, right? Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of the languages share different like scripts, right? So it's the difference between like, I mean,
Latin and
yeah.
any other romantic language.
exactly, like those would be a shared script versus like Korean or Japanese or something being completely different forms of writing.
Can I make a quick check to see if it looks like the same handwriting?
Sure.
I don't know what kind
I'll
of
let
check that would be.
I'll let your investigation check roll over, because there wasn't an investigation check needed to discover these pages. And you take a quick look under the wagon and stuff, and it really does look like pretty much anything of value in this place was taken a long time ago. And perhaps the only reason that one alchemist's place wasn't overrun is because he was still protecting it. But you do with a 23 investigation check. It looks like pretty much the same writing. The pages look similar level of worn. It doesn't look like they've been outside the book for very long. They fit right in, and you wouldn't be able to tell that they were missing from the book except for the tears in the edges.
Hey, Zinwell, you want to take a look at these and see if you can put them into some semblance of order? I think they belong to that book we found yesterday.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Are they legible?
Yep.
Because I know okay.
Do you hold them up to the book, by the way, to compare them earlier? I should have asked that.
Who has the book? Do I have the book?
I believe you have the book because you can read it. It's okay if not, though. We can. It's fine. As long as someone's got the book, you can be handed it.
It's not in my inventory, but
Yeah, that's all right.
Not in my inventory.
I'll
it looks
just
like some of my stuff I forgot
It's
to save something.
probably in your backpack if you open the backpack. If that's
Oh, freaking backpack!
So I'm gonna add just book to your inventory so it's marked. Yeah, there you go. And if you guys would have held the pages up to compare them earlier, which I feel like would make sense if you're trying to gauge things about the pages, when they get near the book, they like snap back into place. They slide into place in the book, and they like find their place again and rebind to the wires at the back of the book.
Okay. I'll have a quick read through and see what new information can be gathered from the pages we just found.
Yep. Doesn't take you too long, and the rest of you get a minute to just rest and maybe potentially do some more exploring if you want, because Cinder's got a few pages to go through here. But you do, you read the story of the same woman who, in the previous pages, fell off her horse and broke her leg and was stranded, and then got picked up by travelers. There's more description of those travelers and where they're going. The book tells the story of her going through a quaint little town on a river, on the edge of a river, and then passing by a large rock structure that looked like a hand and a horn, and then continuing on to a tall, skinny hill with 3 trees on it. Additionally, there's some details about the travelers as she sort of, beyond just the events of, the day-to-day travel, she also speaks about, the people she's learning to live with here as they talk with her while they travel. You learn that these travelers are called Vistani. I don't remember if you had learned that already. But you learn that they are planar travelers. The Vistani are native to the Shadowfell. And they are gifted with the ability to travel through the mists that churn between the planes of dread in the Shadowfell. Sort of some of the only people that can sort of navigate between the little pockets of reality in the Shadowfell. Anyone else who tries ends up back where they came from.
Damn.
And they
How do you spell that? Vistani?
Vistani.
V-I-S.
Tani.
Okay.
They are nomads and they have no permanent home. They travel back and forth between the Shadowfell and the material plane, and sometimes other planes as well, but much more rarely. And yeah, that's what you learned so far.
Can we have the map again?
You may.
They described the exact map.
There you go. I'm gonna click this button so it zooms in for the camera as well.
Jordan, would you be able to also pin it in the Candlekeep General?
I can. That's a good question. A good point, Heather.
Okay. Yeah, so it definitely looks like it was just describing the path we're following.
I mean, on the plus side, it looks like there'll be more pages other places. But it also means we're gonna have to stop at every place we see here.
Potentially.
Okay.
To the hand.
Hmm.
To the hand.
To the hand. Yeah. Okay. Let's we'll say that Zinra spent some time explaining the story and basically emphasized how the story follows the map, and the map was found separate and didn't look like it exactly matched the book, right?
Yeah, the map looks more recent, and it looks like it's sort of pasted into one of the covers of the book, on the inside cover, but it doesn't look nearly as worn out and is in, I mean, the writing is much more, it's like calligraphy, whereas the handwriting of the book is much more scrawled and messy. I mean, and if the book is accurate, it was written from somebody who was in the back of a wagon the whole time, so there's occasionally bumps and things that ruin the page and smears, and it's not particularly clean.
They also fell off their horse.
Yeah.
It does appear that the story, now that we have a lot more of the pages, actually, does it look like there are any missing pages still?
Looks
Does
like
it look like we have all of
you're
them?
still missing most of the book.
Okay.
Hell plus fell off your horse plus ratio, that's true.
Yeah. Well, it
Alright,
looks like to
so-
me that the person who was reading this book last was drawing up this map in order to try to determine where the travelers went. So perhaps we should continue along the path that the story is describing and see if we learn more.
Yeah, that sounds like as good a plan as any.
Does the book give any indication on direction to the hands? Or the hand and horn?
The map
'Cause it seems like... Go
The
ahead.
map does include some very vague landmarks of some nearby hills and the river structure, and also it indicates north. So it does give a vague direction now that you're here in which way.
Okay.
You have no idea how accurate the map is. It might just be sort of vague directions, but it does seem to indicate at least vague directions.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
walk to the other side of the town and see if there's any sort of road roughly pointing in the same direction as where the hand and horn will be.
Sure. Give me a survival check real quick, unless you have something like navigator's tools or something to help you indicate north. It's a relatively low DC, but just in case.
No, I don't have that. So
This will just be a 10 DC. Yeah, okay, perfect. So yeah, you're able to you know enough about travel in the wilderness to uncover. You get your bearings here, and so yes, it does indeed look like the roads leading out of the town match up to the map.
well, good news is, looks like whoever this was went on a road and didn't go trail foraging. So hopefully we don't get too lost if the map isn't to scale. That said, I'm not super great with the wilderness, so if somebody's better than me, like one of you nature folk, maybe you should take the lead.
I would be happy to take the lead. I've spent
Alright.
many time in the woods.
Let's pop back.
I
to the
rarely
landing
see
page now.
trees because I was from cities, so someone else can take it.
Andrew just woke up. He nodded off halfway through that story.
Excellent.
Give me the side eye when you open up your eyes, just like the, what are you doing?
And just wake up, was staring directly at the robot, scare himself.
The 7-foot tall robot.
So, as you guys head out of the town and into the wilderness, whoever wants to lead the way, if you could give me a survival check, please. And if anyone else is proficient in survival, they may assist if they wish. Alright, Zinra, with a 22.
I don't think he needs one.
I don't think you needed an assist either. You know this region pretty well, and while you haven't been down in this particular area in quite a while, I mean, for most of this little trip here, you've got a road to follow. It's very old. This road has not been properly used in many years, and everything has kind of been caked over with mud and overgrown with plants. But you can at least tell through as you go, there's locations where no trees are and things like that. Like these sort of long clearings that you're able to follow that form vague ancient roads. And so you make your way along. And eventually, sticking up out of the trees ahead, you see a structure, a rock structure, that does indeed look like a large hand. It's very crude, and you sort of have to look at it from the right angle. But it does look like a hand, and potentially if you squint, it kind of looks like the hand is holding a bit of a horn.
What time of day is it? Like, did that take all day?
That took you with a 22 survival check. I'll say that only took you roughly a third of the day, of a travel day.
20 minutes.
Huh. So, that's a relief. This map is not hugely scheduled.
Yes, fortunately.
I'm gonna look at the rock and see if there's any carvings, and also check the surrounding area for ravens and/or book pages.
All right. As you get closer, rising from the distance ahead of you, coming up out of the trees in the forest, you hear a howling sound that rises in pitch and volume and eventually becomes like a scream. But it's so weird that it rose up out of nowhere, became a scream, and then faded back into nothing.
What do you think that was?
Do we check that out, or find some stuff here first and then go check that out?
Again, the sound rises up out of the forest ahead.
Sorry, so it's like an animal sound?
It's
not like a
strange.
person screaming? It's strange? Okay.
It sounds, by the end of the sound, where it's at its loudest, it sounds like a human scream. But at the other parts, it sounds inhuman.
Don't like that.
How far away does it sound?
It sounds like it's coming from the rock.
So it's the direction we have to go.
Okay, so
Or is it not?
Yep.
I guess,
Is it- is
up to you.
it just me, guys, or does it sound like this rock is screaming at us?
Is it anything to do with the rock structure itself? Because it could be just the wind. Is it a windy day?
It's moderately windy today.
I don't know, Darbeck, that doesn't quite sound like the howl of a breeze to me. I guess
I'm
technically
gonna
we need to go to it. 'Cause
I'm gonna
of the
cast
map.
Detect Magic.
Okay.
I'm gonna move to within 30 feet of this rock and detect magic.
All right.
I'm also
This
going to
sounds
put up
really
Mage Armor
close.
just to be safe.
How tall is this? Like, I'd assume it's like hundreds of feet tall or something, right?
Not quite that tall. It does poke out over the trees, but the trees in this particular region right here where you are not quite as tall as the trees in the forest that are sort of downriver from here. So several dozen, but not quite hundreds.
Okay.
All right, so you got 30 feet of detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry, clicking Mage Armor makes me do the AoE thing.
Oh, no worries. From here, 30 feet away, just at the edge of your vision, you don't see very high up the hand. Would you get closer than that? Or just see the base of it?
I'd keep getting closer, assuming the thing doesn't start shrieking even worse as I get closer.
It does get louder, indeed. and it does sound like it's coming from not just like the base of the hand, but up high in the hand. Now that you're close
Alright.
enough to tell that.
Definitely getting closer then.
All right. As you get closer and closer, and you almost have to get all the way up on it before your 30 feet range reaches high enough, but eventually pick up just a light aura of illusion.
Okay, I can't. There's definitely illusion magic up there. I don't know if it's a sound because those pages also had illusion magic. So, Soren or somebody who's good with climbing, do you mind checking and seeing that, making sure there's nothing like trapped and downing up there?
We do have the climbing potion.
I guess I'll fly up and check out the Screaming Rock.
Oh, how close did you have to get in order to see if there was an illusion? I'm good at illusions. I can see if I know what it is.
I'm standing here at the base and looking up, and there's something way at the top.
How, if I get
But-
close to it to see the illusion, what would I need to roll to?
That would be an Arcana check if you're trying to like understand the magic or see if it's a spell you are aware of or something like that.
Okay. Arcana check. My rolls are not good today. Okay.
I mean, you are aware that illusion magic could make sounds if you wanted it to. You're not sure if this is that or not.
I can probably pick up Queniana or Xandria and fly up. I probably can't fly with you, Darbeck.
Yeah, how much can you pick up?
If either of you are under like 100 pounds total with your gear, the small people, Queniana or Xandri, then I would allow it.
Yeah, I can probably pick up a 3-foot tall person.
Yeah,
I am
it's-
at 87 pounds with
it's,
you.
it's more if
Yeah.
the 3-foot tall person is carrying 200 pounds of gear is when it would be a tricky,
Yeah,
tricky
I think
situation.
Yeah.
combined, I'm at 83.
I'm currently at 316 pounds. Or sorry, 364.
I'd have
Where
to
is
hit the
that?
gym for a while to do that.
In your
I can also shrug out of my pack and leave that on the ground.
Yeah.
in
In my
your
inventory?
inventory at the very bottom is like a bar. Yours is right now 77 out of
Oh, yeah.
150.
Okay, but I weigh like 145.
Exactly. But also,
Yeah.
Soren can only really carry something like that if they're a smaller creature type. So it would have
Yeah.
to be Queniana or Xandri.
Oh yeah, it definitely would be me.
So what do we do?
All right. So which of you wants me to bring you up there?
Xander doesn't
Um,
want to do this, but if it was a group decision, he'd pretty much have no choice.
All right, Queniana,
I'm
you
happy to
ready?
go for a flight. Yeah,
Let's
give me a
go.
sec to just shrug my weapons off just in case. I'll keep my daggers, leaving behind my torch and my backpack and my crossbow.
All right.
Do you want me to carry you, or do you want to climb on?
Whichever's best for you. I don't know how your feathers work.
All right. Carry's probably safer.
All right, I'm still wearing my leather armor. Try not to mess it up too bad.
So like claws around the shoulders, is that what we're thinking? Like what are we
I have arms,
You have
just
arms
like Loop.
Yeah, but okay, the arms work, I guess. That makes sense. I was also picturing like your feet as being talons, but I'm not sure how that works or if that works that way.
No, yeah, I wouldn't want to. I don't want to damage the leather armor.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so you guys head on up there. And as you get closer to the top, it does indeed sound, especially now that you're at a different angle and above this structure, you can see that this little horn-like structure in the stone has a hole in it. And it's letting wind into this hole and then producing this sound as the wind travels by. Multiple holes on the other side as well, causing this strange phenomenon. You're not sure if this was... I mean, it's a hand and a horn. I'm not sure who made this or why. Nothing really
Oh,
else
that's
around,
interesting.
but it's here. And sort of.
I wish.
Sorry.
Oh, I wish it didn't make such an awful noise, but
Somebody's got a nasty sense of humor.
Wedged between the horn and the hand are more pages.
ah,
All right. Since you're holding me, if you get close, I can pull the pages out,
yeah.
and then we can get back down and reattach it to the book and figure out what they say.
I do that.
All right. So for brevity, we get the pages back down to Zinro, who is able to read, and the pages snap back into the book again. The next few pages talk about campfire stories and late night songs that the author experienced as part of this traveling group. It's a very pleasant portion of the travel. You also learn that the Vistani are very open with their wealth, but they're not stingy with it. They will share their wealth as a sign of good fortune and all of that. If that makes sense. Like, they're very outwardly, they wear lots of colors, they wear lots of jewelry, all of that, but they also are very willing to give all of that away if it will help someone. Additionally, they prefer to settle their disagreements through contests of song, dance, and storytelling rather than fights or arguments. And that is all that these pages tell you.
You seem like quite an interesting people, I must say.
Yeah.
Just assuming that I explained all those things,
Yes.
so I don't have to repeat it.
I agree.
I mean, I hope they have some sort of magic or something that protects them, because it sounds like they'd be easy marks for a bunch of bandits, but that's just me.
So I'm starting to wonder why someone's leaving pages at each of the landmarks.
Yeah. Were there any ravens this time?
Not this time.
I'm also looking at the map, and there doesn't seem to be a connection between the next two red lines we need to travel on. Just kind of goes to the side and then appears in the forest.
Is the forest in the direction that we have to go pretty dense, or can we maybe see Three Tree Hill from here? Can I do
Yeah, give me a
check to see?
perception check or survival, your choice.
I'm good at both of those things. Man.
So from here, the woods to the south, Zinro, are a sharp drop in the terrain. Not quite cliffs, but banks and such, and sometimes cliffs. Occasionally, difficult land to cover normally, which is why there's no road going that way. There's no river heading down that way, and so on. But as you look in that direction and look into the forest, you do notice that right to the south of this hand structure, there appears to be a path going south into the woods.
This path over here, it looks to be going in the direction that we need to travel to go towards Three Tree Hill, which I believe is the next spot that we need to find.
Alright, I guess we follow.
All right.
So if we are up on a hill, do we also see that river to the south?
Despite the map not being littered with trees, they're hard to draw. It takes time. It is a pretty dense forest in this area, and so you can kind of see the dips in the forest along certain paths that look like that's probably where the river is, right? But it's hard to actually make out water from here. Yeah. I will say, and yeah, since you are in an elevated position and you rolled a pretty decent 15 perception checks, you can see out of the forest down below that 3-tree hill.
If you squint and look, and I'll point in the direction, you can almost see 3-tree hill.
I'll take your word for it, because I can't see much over the first trees.
You'll be going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fly up to get us a better vantage, if possible.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long to get too much of an advantage here because, like I said, it's even like the nearby terrain has a lot of banks and cliffs and things. Difficult to navigate potentially, but pretty easy to see over the trees below, which is how Zinra was able to see the 3-tree hill from here.
Oh.
So whoever's taking the lead, please give me a survival check, and if anyone else is proficient, you may grant them advantage if you wish.
Anyone proficient?
It's survival?
Survival.
I am not.
No, but I can give guidance to
There we go. Guidance is sick.
whoever.
That achieved the same thing?
Gives you
Oh, here we
1d4.
go. Oh, on top of the roll?
So when you get when it asks you for a bonus in like a little text box, you can type in 1d4 and it'll handle that for you. Yeah, 18. Very good.
Oh,
Easy
I-
enough.
perfect.
Zenro is excellent in this terrain. You know these woods well, even if you don't know the specific landmarks. You're very familiar with this biome. And you're impressed by this little path that heads to the south. It winds back and forth across these banks and takes very clever little routes that you wouldn't perhaps have picked out yourself so quickly. Maybe if you spent some time you could find this route, and yeah, well, you're sure you could with enough time, but it saved you quite a bit here. I feel like you're glad you're following the map. And it takes you, with another excellent survival check, only another third of a day to reach your next
Dang.
landmark. In which case you find a very tall, it's small but very steep hill, more like a pillar of rock sticking out of the ground. But at the top, defying nature's decision to say fuck these 3 trees in particular, 3 trees have still caught root and are sticking up out of the top of the tree. Can I get perception checks from you all?
Perception. Uh-oh.
All right.
1 second.
No worries.
Perception?
Perception, please. All right. So 3 of you, Quiniana, Darbek, and Zinro, you all notice at about the same time as you approach this thing, up at the very top, nestled into some of the first branches of those trees, is a nest. Pretty large nest. With a raven sitting in it.
Well, so far, whenever there's been a raven, there's been pages, so.
And when there hasn't been a raven even.
You mean Xandri, not Darbek?
Huh? Yes, I did. Yes, the DC was 15, so those 3 got it.
Okay.
Maybe not
Hey,
a 6.
Soren. Hey, Soren, see that nest up there?
No, I don't. What nest?
Well, there's a nest up there. Do you mind taking a look?
Sure.
Seeing as you're the one who can just poof up into the air all the time.
That makes sense.
Checks out.
Alright. Flying not
I'll
them.
cast fly by beating my wings.
Exactly. So you fly on up, and yes, indeed, the raven flies off as you approach, and tucked into the nest, sort of lining the inside of it, are a bunch of crumpled pages. Who would have thought?
That makes sense. See, the illusion magic that's making them rustle slightly is actually very good for
Yes,
as nest
indeed.
material.
Makes it easy to spot for you as well.
So I will remove the pages and fly back down.
All right. So these pages talk about crossing a bridge over a narrow river, and then slowly and very carefully taking a wide path around a scorched hill. The author describes one morning waking up and looking at the sky still covered with clouds and dull gray, the shadowy shape of a winged figure carrying something to the hill. You also learn that the Vistani believe that ravens carry lost souls within them. Hence, killing a raven is considered bad luck.
One could even say that books are people's souls.
Arabex
so-
just kind of
Zinro, does she say anything about which way around the hill they went, or are we relying on the map for that?
We've already been through which way.
Ah,
First base. Does it specify which?
It just says that they don't approach it. She was not in charge of navigation, she was just along for the ride, but she remembers them all speaking in hushed voices, very concerned about the hill and trying to keep away from it, but still having to navigate by it.
I suggest that we stay on the near side and try not to get too close. If we can trust this book to lead us to what we're looking for, then we should also trust it when it hints of danger. But we can cross that when we get to it. Shall we continue and search for the wood bridge?
yeah.
All right. Another survival check, please. You know the drill.
McPeak.
Yeah, baby. Oh.
A result of a 14.
Actually,
Sorry?
I was gonna say, how often can I use guidance?
As often as you wish. However, you can
'Cause-
only guide one thing at a time because there's concentration. So if multiple people are making like stealth checks or something, you gotta pick one.
Yeah, but would we be able to use it now? Because it says it can be done before or after the check.
You have to cast the spell before, and then they can decide if they want to use the die before I have to check. But I don't care about that necessarily. You guys were probably pre-planning to make this survival check anyways, so that's fine if you want to just call it. If you want to just add that, I don't mind.
That's up to Zinro if he wants to add 4 to try to roll a d4 to add to it. Perfect.
Sick.
A 15 was the DC for another good segment of travel.
Woo!
So,
Poggers!
it is getting late at this point.
Our
But-
powers combined.
Indeed.
I'm just Yoda in the back, on the backpack.
Another few hours, giving you about halfway through, we'll say a sixth of a day, not to get too particular, but you know, you won't end at the bridge, you'll end a bit beyond it. You encounter this bridge that was mentioned previously.
How do you guys feel about camping out on a bridge?
Wait, is it a whoop?
When I say bridge, let me actually do
So it's
something.
not the covered bridge.
No, It does not look
Okay.
nearly as fancy as the bridge in the picture.
Lame.
This is your situation. As you guys approach this bridge, and a terrifying, ugly creature crawls out from underneath it, rattling things in
Control.
bags, and pulls themselves up onto the bridge.
Give us a riddle.
And also, it should still be daylight. I apologize. Lighting.
I was very confused.
Do, 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 do.
It's
There
so
you go. That
bright
should
for
be-
me.
That should be good. There you go. Okay,
Oh, this is so pretty.
now it's daylight. So this troll. You guys, I put you on the map at an arbitrary place. Doesn't have to be right here, but the bridge is where it is. There's a bit of a bank down into the river below. It would not be comfortable to cross, and there's a troll at the bridge who climbs up on top and stands in the way with its arms crossed and says, "You must pay the toll." And it holds out a hand with claws, terrifying, several inches long, sticking out of it.
And how much is the toll?
The toll is the toll.
Oh, you haven't told us how much it is.
How much?
While this is going on, Soren's like 60 feet in the air.
That's fair. We can actually do that for you, Pop.
Wait.
The toll. The toll. He holds out a hand. He starts tapping a foot on the bridge. Kind of
I'm
rattles a
extremely tempted to give him a good berry,
bit.
but I don't know if that'll make him mad.
What's market rate on good berries?
Good question.
I take out a silver piece.
No money. Toll.
Uh,
Does anyone have a Nestle Toll House? Give this guy a cookie.
Give toll. Bob's angry.
What toll? Like, what do you want for the toll if not money?
The toll! And he pulls up from under the bridge, like with his long green arm, like a sack full of it, just junk. He shakes it around, like a dagger falls out of it and plunks into the river. You see like just odds and ends and like maps and things just sticking out of the top of it. The toll! And then he
Alright.
shoves the
Pages.
bag under the bridge.
I take out my sling and offer it to him.
Right. You don't see any pages sticking out of the top of the bag, but the sling. Give me a persuasion or deception check. I believe. Yes.
Okay, because it's not what he wants.
Well, just as you're presenting this item to him, like if you're, it's your choice if you think it's not what he wants and you're trying to deceive him, or if you're honestly offering it to him. That's how you may choose persuasion or deception here.
I mean, I'm better at lying than telling the truth.
Good toll. You may pass. And he puts it in his bag.
what? What did you give him? A sling?
So
Yeah,
Queniana
I
may
have
pass.
a sling, but no stones for it.
Like a
While I
slingshot?
do, I pull up Detect Magic to see if he's got any pages, if I can sense any magic in his bag.
You do sense that same faint illusory magic inside the bag. And in fact, I was kind of waiting for you to cross the bridge, but if you're crossing when he offers you to cross,
I'll keep an eye out for him, but I'm gonna just like cross slowly.
yeah, he just stands aside and kind of lets you cross.
Uh-huh.
As you do, he turns around and says, "Receipt for toll," and he hands you a page.
Ah.
Bubs do good business. Bubs keep receipts.
Thank you. Receipts are important.
They are. Turns back to the rest of you. Toll. You up there, Toll.
I'm gonna. This is probably a waste, but it's fine. I'm gonna cast Goodberry and then give him 5 of the good berries. Offer him.
Give me a persuasion or deception check.
Hold on, I have to learn how to read. What the hell is persuasion? Oh, that one's bad. Persuasion or deception?
Up to you.
Oh, jeez.
You
I'm
deceiving
scared.
or persuading him?
No.
He picks one up and sniffs it. May I sample?
Of course.
Pops in his mouth and chews for a second, and then his eyes open wide and he snatches the rest from you, and as he shoves them in his mouth and is starting to chew, like with his mouth still full and his hand still over his mouth, says, "You may pass."
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He hands you a paper. Your receipt.
Such a pain.
Good Toll. Good Toll. Toll! He turns back around
After
to
seeing that,
Alright. Since he already accepted those, I won't make you roll for it. You give him some more good berries and you may pass. He gives you a page. Yes, good Toll. Good Toll.
Yo, can I get?
Why?
I've landed by this point because he's not attacking us. Yo, can I get some of those good berries, please?
Your Toll.
So-
No, Toll from you. He gave Toll.
Toll from me. I don't have anything, so I will not be using your services.
Toll.
Okay,
Toll or Bub's angry.
I'm going to leave.
So,
can I just cross real quick?
You may, yeah. One sec before I get to you, Darbeck. I want to handle what's happening with Soren real quick, but I will get to you.
Yeah.
I was going to help him out, but
Okay, how are you going to help him out?
I was going to say, can I pay for both?
No, Toll from him.
Okay.
Toll from each of you. Individual business. As you're leaving, Soren, I would like you to give me a deception check to deceive this troll that you're not going to go around his bridge somehow.
What on earth makes you think that I will go around his bridge? Why do you think such a thing?
Can I cast message to Soren and say, like, seriously, you don't have, like, torches or something that you can give one of?
No. I pack light.
I would say if you check your inventory, don't forget to click open your backpack to see what's in the backpack as well. You might have
Oh,
to,
there are things in here.
if you middle click it, you'll open up like a separate window with things.
Oh my gosh, stuff. I guess I'll like, if you really want something, I'll offer him a ration.
Okay, give me a persuasion check or a deception check, your choice.
They are the same. Oh wait, nope, not perception.
Depends
Unfortunately,
on whether you believe the ration is a good toll or not.
I mean, everything seems to be a good toll so far.
That's fair.
We are nothing if not consistent here.
Not as tasty. Bad toll.
Well, I guess if you won't accept my toll, I cannot do business with you, and I will walk away.
Okay, give me that deception check.
Again, like, what does he want? It's just like, all
I'm
right.
casting message. He gives us papers as receipts, like from the book.
Bub's
He does-
angry with your friends if you not pay toll.
He's still.
Oh my god.
Don't make Bubs angry. You won't like angry Bubs.
All right, I will give him a different ration.
I don't like those. Not tasty.
No, I gave you a biscuit last time. This one's dried meat.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage, but I'll allow it.
Oh my god.
We are in hell. I have a -1 to charisma.
Excellent.
Can somebody cast
Oh no!
Very good.
No. I
That's
like
not a nat 1. That is a 2 minus 1.
I don't like
Best-
dried meat. I like fresh meat.
All right. I'm not giving you the entire backpack. You pick out what you would like out of this for a toll. Again, I am not giving you everything in this bag.
He finds one of your blocks of incense and he sniffs it. This smells pretty.
Yes.
Is
Is this acceptable toll?
Yeah, you offer this?
I offer this block of incense.
All right, yes.
Yes.
Good toll. You may pass.
Fantastic. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yes, here is your receipt. Yes.
Yep.
All right. And I've retracted one block of incense. So now we're down to
thank you.
Darbeck.
I will say, I would like to offer one magic arrow, and I will kind of move my hand towards him as I cast my invisible mage hand, and I will pull one arrow from my quiver. And I assume that is a deception check. Right.
So mage hand, you can make it invisible.
Yeah.
However, it still has a somatic component. So I'm actually going to say this is a sleight of hand check for you to sort of hide the very quick cast of the spell that summons the hand for you to do stuff with it. Once it's summoned, you can
Okay.
do stuff with it mentally, but you have to kind of hide the casting of it. So I'll say a sleight of hand check just to see if you're able to pull that off without him detecting you casting a spell real quick. Excellent. Yeah, you pull it off expertly. It's like a magic trick, you know. You offer him an arrow by like indicating your quiver, and you cast it with the other hand. You know, misdirection, right? Very quickly, and the arrow floats out in a way. Yes. Very good toll. Yes, very good magic arrow. Very impressive. He stuffs it in the bag, and then hands you a receipt. Good toll. Good business. Thank you all for your cooperation. He climbs back down onto the bridge.
Bye, Mr. Troll. I hope you find your dad.
It's impressive that he can just completely disappear under that bridge.
Yes, he's very good at hiding.
He's so big, and the bridge has many holes in it.
True.
All right, let's have a reading session.
And yes, just as a note, Corniana, you do detect that all of the pages he had were handed over at this point.
Okay.
Convenient.
Very
Hey,
convenient.
it's a good thing there were 5 of us and that you paid that toll soaring. All of the papers are here.
Okay. So you get the pages. They tell of the Vistani meeting with an old friend in a cabin atop a hill. And then the last couple pages you were given are almost all redacted. There's ink splotched out in just lines across the page, covering the text. Doesn't look like handwriting. Looks like somebody went over it with like stamps or a roller of some kind, very intentionally covering everything in this page.
Yo, I love the SCP Foundation.
Exactly. Very much like that. And then, after that, continuing on like nothing happened, the author talks about traveling to the Shadowfell. They mention entering through a strange, shadowy mist and ending up in a even more misty place.
Hog, are we going there?
But
Something.
the end of the page cuts off before the author is able to describe much else about the Shadowfell that they encounter. The reader also learns from earlier in these pages, before it starts getting redacted, that the Vistani families can be very big or very small. And they put a lot of they put a lot of stock in age. The most elderly member of the family is the family's leader, and that passes on to the next elderly when that person dies, and so on and so forth. And the elder has the most responsibility for everything. They settle all the disputes. They decide the outcomes of the previously mentioned dance and song battles, and so on and so forth. And they take care of everybody. That's their responsibility. But again, you don't learn much else because most of it was redacted.
Just in case it comes up later, how old is everybody?
20.
200.
All right, I'm about 120.
Xandric finally finishes doing like some very difficult mental math. 300, maybe.
All right, just in case we run into these people, order of age will probably end up being order of authority level, and we don't want to have to lie about these what age. So it helps to know that ahead of time.
Makes sense to me.
Just in case, so we don't like have any awkward whispered conversations in front of somebody as they ask who's who.
We should probably be extra careful from this point. It looks like things might get dangerous. And I'm still pretty unsure what's going to happen if we even find this house on the hill.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, redacted will happen.
Is the redacted part of the illusory magic?
It appears to be like. You mean is it? It does not look like it was redacted using illusory magic. If that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks like real ink.
Does anybody have a spell that can remove ink spills?
Nope.
That would be prestidigitation, I believe.
That
You can use illusionary script to change what it says, but that wouldn't help it.
just make up a new story.
I mean, if we see any other travelers, you might want to cast that just in case, but not now, I guess.
All right, if that's all, should we keep going?
It looks like it's gonna get dark. I personally don't want to deal with worm of some sort that may or may not be a worm or a dragon in the dark.
So the red worm, yeah.
It's also you're also all getting somewhat tired. You could push on, but I'd make you start making checks to see if you get exhausted.
Disappointed because he's used to traveling nonstop for days on end. Zinro realizes his mistake and suggests that we set up camp.
All right. So, who will be keeping watch for the evening while you set up camp?
We'll do the regular thing where I go sentry mode.
Okay.
Do we need 4 watches?
Yeah, I guess everybody will be making a roll at some point, huh? How about I just get a perception check from everybody for tonight's watches?
For flavor, I should be last because I'd wake up first.
Makes sense?
Damn. Oh, well. Never mind. And well, it started strong.
Damn, there's still fireworks. Bro, it's been days.
Should I roll 1 or 4 times?
Just once. Just
Okay.
simplifying a little bit. I'm basically going to treat this as a big group check, and then we can narrate what happens as it goes, just to simplify things a bit. So, as you guys turn in for the night, it's pretty quiet in this part of the woods. You've made it past the bridge. You're down in a section of woods that are a little strange, actually. It was when it was autumn previously, of course, where you were. But it seems like here, the trees, like, they're all bare of leaves, but there's no leaves on the ground. It's hard to tell if the trees are actually dead or not, because they're still here. They don't appear burned, they don't appear drained, anything strange like that. But the trees just don't have leaves. And it's like this for quite a while around here. It doesn't provide you much cover from the air. And as morning approaches and the dawn light comes over the horizon, lights up the sky, gives you a little bit of visibility in the air. You see a figure, just a silhouette up in the clouds, flying overhead, carrying something. And Zinro with a 20, it looks like it's carrying some sort of animal, like a cow or something, some sort of cattle. Something large. It flies off to the top of a hill nearby, which also is bald of trees. Not because they're dead and broken, but because it looks like everything on top of the hill has been scorched and burnt away. And that is the evening. It is now morning. What are you guys all doing?
Have you shared the fact that you saw that thing?
What was the description of it again? Yeah, we'll say that I described it, yes.
It was a large, like, silhouette of a figure going across the clouds up in the air, just as the light of dawn allows you to see things against the clouds.
Holding a cow.
Yeah, a large winged figure carrying a cow to that scorched hill.
Yeah, we'll share that.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but if something's big enough to carry a cow, I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Could we do a nature check to see if it would we would know what could physically carry a cow in the air?
Sure. Give me a nature check.
There it is.
Well, the easy answer that pretty much everyone would know would be dragons. Beyond that, you're not sure.
Like fire,
Those
flies.
People speak of dragons as, like the boogeymen, right? Like they're these crazy creatures that are extremely dangerous and have people stay a large distance away from them unless they're known to be, well, good. But there's a lot of superstition and fear surrounding these creatures.
And this was this in the direction that we need to go?
It was.
In all my traveling in trade and like information trading, have I ever heard of the red worm? Because on the map there's something that says Scourge of the Red Worm.
Yeah,
So
Scorch of the Red Worm. Red worm is not a proper noun. It is a type. It's like saying an orange cat. It's a
okay.
It is a color of either dragon or other wyvern of some kind. Is what that
Okay.
So is it like where a bunch of them live?
potentially.
Oh,
If anyone wants to
fuck.
roll a nature check, if they want to see if they know anything about dragons, that's up to you.
I mean, I can. Let's give that a shot.
I know I just don't-
Nature is not going well.
Unfortunate.
I got a 15. It's okay.
Could
Seems
I
good. Yes.
Oh, I just meant me.
Hmm.
What was that, Joanna?
Could I potentially roll an Arcana check to see if worms and dragons are normally two different categories of magical beings?
I'll let you roll an Arcana check. I'll say the DC will be different, but you will also uncover things about potentially dragons and stuff. Yeah.
I just want to look into abilities and see what's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah. Okay, we'll start with Zinro since he rolled first. But yeah, Zinro, you're pretty aware of at least some basic things about dragons, right? Not necessarily the like specific details or anything crazy like that, but you do know a few things. And if this is indeed a red dragon, which is the current working theory at least, they tend to be solitary and very competitive. They don't tend to work with other dragons. They tend to try and get a bigger horde than other dragons. They tend to very quickly leave the nest and try to make a name for themselves and become, they're very proud people. So if it is a red dragon, like the map is suggesting, it's probably alone. And then Queniana with a 24, you would know that there are dragons, worms generally are sort of like the larger category, right? Most of the time they refer to dragons, but not always. But there are also other things like drakes or other related creatures that are of lesser intelligence, and some dragons are of lesser intelligence too, but most dragons are as intelligent, if not more intelligent and wise than, the other sentient bipedal races of the land. It either could be a dragon that's hyper intelligent, or it could be, if it's not a dragon and it's something a little bit lesser, essentially just a beast of prey that's just very large and very dangerous.
I convey that worm is a category name, not necessarily a one-to-one for dragon. It could be a dragon, which means we should prepare for it like it might be. But also it could be a couple other scaled winged things that like to eat cows and the like.
So is the hill that we saw it on the Scorch, according to the map, or is it just it's a burnt hill?
Zinra, with your very good survival check so far, I'll say that you're pretty aware, based on its location, that looks like that's the hill that the map is talking about. It's the only hill around that is completely scorched on top, like the map suggests.
Are there still pages missing from the book?
There are.
Have we made it to the wood bridge yet?
Yes.
That was the troll.
Oh, I thought it was not the wood bridge in the map.
It
No,
doesn't
it
look
just
as nice.
doesn't look as nice. It was the bridge.
Okay.
Okay. So from what I can tell with the map and the story and seeing our lovely friend last night, that hill over there points at Scorched Hill, is the Scorch of the Red Worm. Now I know that we still have some pages to find, but I'm not sure we want to get too close.
Yeah, if you guys are okay with me being mostly useless in terms of trail finding and stuff, I can keep detect magic up and just spend the whole day concentrating and seeing if there's magic in a 30-foot sphere of me.
And if we need to, if you find anything, I can always sneak to it.
Alright.
So we're gonna keep our distance and see if we notice anything? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
At least for now.
I'll offer one more detail to Quiniana as well. Since a natural 20, I feel like I didn't give you enough. So being a little more specific, what would be a red winged creature like that would not be intelligent would be a wyvern. And those are more the beasts of prey. And they would only be interested in, meat or even hunting for sport. Whereas a dragon would be extremely tempted by anything valuable, even something as cheap as just gold. If it's shiny, it likes it. Red dragons are very vain and proud. And they hunt to eat, but they don't hunt for, they don't gorge themselves and just constantly kill things for food. They just eat enough, and they're smart enough to know not to overhunt and all that. So I'll just offer that extra little detail as well. Yeah.
Okay. I guess if we see any people around, we can ask if, like, all of the animals have gone missing, or just a few, and that should tell us whether we're dealing with a dragon or not. And, if we can't find the pages at the foot of the hill, we might be able to bribe the dragon with gold. Just maybe don't try tricking it, because they're about as smart as we are or more.
Did we determine that? So it is a dragon and not a wyvern? Or
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. There are a couple ways we can find out. One is if we run into anybody nearby, we can see if the landscape's just been completely cleared of farm animals, in which case it's probably not. If it's just like a sheep disappearing here, a pig over there, and a cow from somebody else's, then it's probably something smart enough to not just go after everything.
Indeed, and a common person might mistake both for a dragon, but Quiniana, you know enough about dragons and wyverns that you can tell by looking at them physically. A dragon has its wings, but it also has 4 limbs. It's got 4 legs. A wyvern has just its 2 legs. It's more like a bird, like a dragon. Like just 2 wings, 2 legs. It's got like clawed talons, but it is a scaled creature with, you know, more dragon-like features as well. So it's pretty identifiable if you get close enough to get a good look at it, but you guys have not gotten a good look yet.
Yeah. I'd prefer to figure this out without getting up close and personal, just in case it is something that we can't reason with. But worst case, dragons have 4 legs, wyverns have 2 claws and 2 wings. Dragons are the ones you can talk to, wyverns will just try and eat you.
Alright.
Oh, and out of curiosity, does anybody know Draconic?
No.
Nope.
I do.
Alright, you're our designated diplomat if we have to talk to a dragon.
You know what? Actually, wait a second. Maybe we can bond over our shared having of wings.
Maybe, but if you do, you want to admire its wings, because if this is a red dragon, they're really vain.
That's good
So-
advice.
Flattery might work. Offering it gold and flattery might actually be a decent shot at getting a couple pages from the thing.
I will ask.
If you guys have anything shiny that you don't mind parting with and or valuable,
I would appreciate some gold because I don't have any.
I will ask, does that include silver?
probably not if it's as old as you think it might be.
Alright, cool. Then I should not be worried about it wanting me.
No.
If we give you to it, you can just get up and walk away.
Dragons can do a lot of damage. You might not survive that.
Well, I
Would
can
you,
easily trick it.
if I had to offer a potion of ours, do you have a preference?
Wasn't one of them shiny and gold?
That's a health potion.
I think just based on the appearance, that was probably the one to offer.
Do I know which of the two that I have is more valuable or harder to come by?
I would say once they're identified to you, you probably would have heard of them being bought and sold in markets and stuff, and they're both relatively similar in rarity. Items like that aren't so commonly sold that there's like a going market rate for them. It's basically whatever people are willing to pay for them, whatever they're being sold for, because like I said, hard to come by, not very commonly traded. And once they're consumed, they're gone. So there's a drain on the market, and they're not being made very often. But you've heard of both about as often, so you would guess that they're about similar rarities.
I have a little bit of gold. And if you guys are okay with it, we might be able to use the potion of climbing and water breathing as leverage, because I don't think they're things dragons would come by fairly easily.
I think we should figure out first if it's a dragon or a wyvern.
Yeah.
Well, there's
So I
only
guess-
one way to find out.
I guess you're right.
All right. So, what approach are you guys taking here? There's a few options ahead of you. You can either try and take a long route out and away from the hill to just keep you far away from it and just get to the cabin. That'll take you through a swamp. Might not be the most pleasant. You can try and cut it a little closer and try to make some stealth checks to sneak by the hill without alerting the dragon, or you guys can head to the hill, see if you can either sneak into the dragon's lair or worm's lair, wyvern's lair, whatever it is, and hope it's not there, or confront it, or what are you guys doing?
As we get closer to where it might be dangerous and need stealth check time, I could cast Pass Without a Trace, which means that everyone gets a plus 10 to their dexterity, i.e. stealth checks,
If
and
you
can't be tracked except by magical means, but still.
So
plus
if you
10.
did,
if you're good with helping us be sneaky, I'd like to double check and make sure that the rest of this book isn't in the dragon's lair. Just, like, if we can get this whole book and turn it in and get into Candlekeep, that would be pretty cool.
Fine, I
Works
just
for
won't
me.
cast it until it's like close, because it only lasts like an hour.
Okay.
Alright.
Sounds like a plan.
All
This
right.
could possibly go wrong.
if we do
I mean,
find
if you
the-
guys would rather avoid the dragon, I'm all for staying alive if you think that's the better
No,
option.
I absolutely want to go to it.
Okay.
I'm just joking. Like, how could this possibly go wrong?
Fair.
Alright.
I know this is dumb. I just wanted to make sure we were all on board first.
I want to do it.
Alright.
All right, if you guys are approaching the hill, then can you all give me stealth checks? And also, I would like somebody to call high or low.
Well, before we do stealth checks, there's the spell.
There we go.
All right, start our hour timer, and everyone gets a plus 10. We
Gonna
get plus
guidance
10
myself.
Or 1d10.
10 flat.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, and you guys may guidance as necessary as well. Actually, Zandri cannot guidance because he's concentrating on Pass Without Trace, but Soren may. A natural
my
one with a
God.
total of
Oh my
15.
God.
Excellent. Oh my
Oh.
God.
Wait, it should be 13. That was
Well, I just did a plus 10 bonus, so I rolled.
yeah,
a
I forgot to type the
32.
plus 10 bonus.
So yours the 13. It's okay. Gotcha,
Mhm.
gotcha. Who are we missing?
Hi.
There we go.
Hi.
Stealth check. Holy shit. You did pretty well, Soren.
That's okay. It's all right.
There's also the guidance.
Oh wait, I can add a D4.
Well, probably should.
No,
go
I
to
can
the-
add a D4.
Yeah. Alright. Fortunately for Queniana and Zandri, you've got a couple really good people sneaking in the party here. And they're able to cover for you a little bit. And partway through your journey, you see a winged figure leave the top of the hill and fly away. And that is when Queniana and Zandri are a little distracted, and they look up to watch the figure, and the other three of you kind of, duck down, get down, trying to get everybody under cover of a nearby tree. No branches, no leaves rather, but you can still hide behind the trunk.
Can I see if it has 2 or 4 legs while I'm being distracted?
Roll me a perception check. It's a pretty high DC because it's a little far away and it's not ideal conditions here, but
Fair.
yeah. You take a look and you squint a little bit, and that's right when Darbek's hand is on your shoulder, pulling you back behind cover, like, no, hide.
Okay. Good to know.
Hard to tell.
Which one was the good one? 2 is dragon, 4 is...
What?
Or,
4
which
is
one
dragon.
4 is dragon. Okay.
Which can be a bit of a mixed bag, but since we know these are vein and leg shinies, we have at least some ground to stand on.
Right. You've reached the foot of the hill. You saw something fly away from the hill. Didn't seem to notice you. It simply flew along wherever it was headed. Are you guys going to now rush up the hill, knowing that you've potentially got nothing ahead of you, or are you going to continue sneaking in case it comes back?
So, did the detect magic pick up anything as we get to the foot of the hill?
Not yet, but detect magic only has a range of 30 feet. Pretty limited.
Sneak.
Sneak.
All right. Anyone opposed to sneaking?
Nope.
No.
All right. It's going to be another round of stealth checks from you all. You still have the plus 10.
Oh.
You'll have the plus 10?
You do.
Oh, for
Oh
fuck's
my
sake.
god. The double. You're missing. Oh, yeah, there's that one. Wow, another 30 plus, Soren. Jeez.
I'm invisible.
And we are missing.
You could say
Darbek.
he's soaring under the
Oh
radar.
no, Darbek made it before the
my
guidance. I see.
God.
Yes. Okay, we got everybody. So.
Can I just go into someone's backpack at this point?
You actually have a 33. You have a 1d4
You know what?
and the 10.
Maybe that's what happened. You rolled the 1 and you like stepped on a loud twig, and then Zinro just swoops you up like, nope, not anymore. You're getting on my back. And you guys make it up to the top of the hill.
Do I have any pings yet?
Uh-oh.
Let me describe the scene first. You get to the top of the hill, and there's a small cave into the top of the hill, like sort of dug down and then in. It's dark inside. Your ping doesn't reach into the cave very deep. It appears to go deeper than 30 feet. What are you guys doing?
I mean, we're here, aren't we?
Yeah. All right. Let's go into the cave. Who can see in the dark?
Nope.
Me, I think.
I'm an owl.
Where do I? Yeah, I have dark vision. 60 feet.
Sure.
Yep.
60 feet. I'm not a blind monk.
I have dark vision 120 feet.
All right.
Same.
You are an
And
owl.
I think Darbek
So-
Alright.
doesn't.
Darbek's just blind as shit.
F.
Everyone else is fine.
Darbek, can you hold on to Zinro? And Zinro, can you guide Darbek? And I'll send messages if there's anything hugely important, and then we can cast light if we really need to.
Sure.
That works for me.
All right.
I assume my position is seeing eye elf.
Yes.
Will that give me a disadvantage on my stealth checks?
No.
Okay.
But you'd be a disadvantage for some things. Either way, you guys head into the cave, and very briefly into there, Queniana, you pick up something on your little magic radar.
Is
Brief?
it the same faint illusory?
There's a few things.
Oh,
First, you notice blasting with powerful magic. Several things with enchantment, evocation. And that's the first thing you notice, and it takes you a moment of kind of squinting and trying to figure out what you're seeing before you notice the faint illusory magic in the background behind it as well. Much weaker, kind of almost hard to see because you're blinded by the more powerful things there.
Okay. I convey that with casting message
And-
as a cantrip as many times as I need to the rest of the group.
I should also say, I apologize, that would be within your dark vision range as well. So by the time you can see that, you can see just a pile at the back of this cave of gold, gems, and other assorted things just sort of stacked back here. It's not massive. It's not like you could slide down it or anything. It looks small for what you would consider a dragon hoard. But this whole cave seems kind of small now that you think about it.
I suggest we don't take anything like that because we may not want to make enemies with whatever lives here.
Can somebody please call high or low for me?
Hi.
All right.
I was gonna say low, so if it goes bad,
What are you guys doing?
Oh gosh, what did that mean?
I'm not telling you.
I can't see, so I don't know.
If we
wanna
detect
see-
I'm
magic,
walk
should we try to
over-
see if
avoiding all of the other magic things if I can, grab the pages, and then walk back.
Yep, easy enough. You find the pages at the back, sort of at the top of the pile. They're scattered at the back of the pile.
And again, I avoid getting near all the other magical signatures because
Sure. The other
I
magic...
am suspicious and I assume they are trapped.
That's fair. As you get closer, though, it does become clear that the two other magical signatures are a pair of gloves and a circlet in the pile.
Okay. That's tempting.
Can I get a read on what they do? Have I read anything about like magic items that would indicate what they are or do?
Not without getting a lot closer and potentially spending some time with them.
Okay.
Can I take a quick look and just make a basic arcana check to see like what sort of rarity or like see if I've heard of any type of magic in those schools that works and is normally
So-
associated with those gloves and circlet?
Yeah, the mechanics for that take a bit of time if you're willing to do that. Generally, you would spend a short rest learning how a magic item works once you've found it. So if you want to
Okay.
start short resting in here, you could. The
Um,
way magic items are created, they're not really mass produced in this world. They're sort of
Mhm.
custom made. And so each one of them is unique. And while some of them may share similar properties or similar enchantments, because they're all, bespoke, it can be hard to identify one thing or another without magic or a lot of time
mhm.
unraveling it.
I think we're gonna have to make the decision between stealing them or leaving. And finding out later.
There's also the pile of gold.
If I
Xander, if you want, you just GTFO. You got the books. That's all.
I grab the gloves and the circlet and shove them into my pack and leave behind 7 gold.
Okay.
All right. I gesture towards the exit and start pulling Darvik with me towards the exit.
Yeah. And then I start running. Or not running, but moving quickly and quietly.
All right. Is anyone not leaving immediately? Is anyone taking anything else? Leaving anything else? What are you doing?
Nope.
Can I see if there's anything that she missed?
Sure. Make me an investigation check. A lot of gold and gems and things here. Could be pretty valuable if you were to take any of it.
I will grab the largest gem I see.
Okay, just one quick gem. Go for it.
Yeah, and I will leave the other block of incense.
Okay, sounds good. And then
People
everybody...
of this land seem to like it, so.
Yes, apparently. And then you guys are sneaking out or rushing out?
Sneak.
Okay.
Sneak,
I think
snack.
at this point we're at the tail end of the previous spell, so if you want that spell active again, it's going to be a new cast. If you have slots for it still.
I have the slots. I would just be out of slot 2.
Tough choice.
How late in the day is it?
Still pretty early. It's, I mean, before midday.
What do you guys think?
I think that we don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe we don't want our Sandry to have no spell slots.
I mean, how useful is the second level spell slot going to be against a red dragon if it finds us?
Fair.
Compelling argument.
Screw it, we'll do it.
All right. You're granted the druidic magic that softens your footsteps and hides your footprints. And you guys are a little sneakier.
And I will cast Bless on Quiniana, Zinro, and Darbeck.
Isn't it Xandri who's had a lot of problems?
Just as
Well,
a
he's
note,
he's riding
What are the
Darbeck now.
What are the odds of
Okay.
3 ones in a row?
Wait, so what?
just as a
what
note for Bless,
spell level was that?
just as a note for Bless, it doesn't apply to ability checks and it
Oh.
only lasts 1 minute. So I don't know if that's what you wanted to cast right here.
No, sorry, it has the same symbol as guidance, so I assumed it was just guidance for more people.
Yeah. It's like guidance for combat, basically. It gives you
Got
better
it.
attack rolls and things.
I guess I will guidance Darbeck because he counts for 2 people.
No, I count for half a person because I'm being dragged through this because I cannot see.
Oh,
You're-
I
you're
guess I
probably-
will.
Sinro, I think at this point I'd be by myself, and because Sinro's got to deal with helping
guys are-
Darbeck.
Pretty quickly out of the cave, and this is mostly covering descending the scorched hill back to the woods. So yeah, stealth checks all around. You can add that plus 10. I know we're going a little over here, but I want to cover this real quick. 28, 25, very good.
Hey, not 1.
23, very good. 16, very good.
Alright.
How stealthy is
I
this
don't
group?
think anyone took it, so I'm just doing me.
Go for it. Ooh, 30. Wow, this group is very stealthy. Unfortunately, yes.
No, it's just people are questioning everyone's very stealthy.
You guys make it quickly but quietly and carefully down the hill. And just as you make it to the edge of the forest and start hiding behind trees, a winged figure swoops over the sky at a ridiculous speed and heads back down into the cave. What are you guys doing?
Getting the fuck out.
We're currently hidden.
You're currently feeling pretty stealthy. You're in the trees again.
Feeling
Really?
pretty stealthy.
You're just gonna keep stealthing away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has made no indication of acknowledging you, but you have no idea if it just is ignoring you or if it has not spotted you.
Let's not tempt fate.
Let's
Were we
continue.
able to see how many legs it had?
Perception check.
Perception.
This time you're a little closer. Did a little bit better. You had a little bit better of an angle. It had 4 legs.
I will communicate this to everyone. It is a dragon. I think.
It also had a gold pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
it's a
gold
dragon
made
just
it
based on the
obvious to
stuff.
me. Yeah. I assumed it was a dragon, but now we know.
2 pieces of evidence.
Oh.
So at this
So
point, are you
stealth
guys
away?
booking it or are you stealthing away?
I vote
think s-
stealthing.
Yeah, I vote stealth because we don't want to become prey.
Yeah.
All right.
Stealth, stealth, stealth.
Stealth checks from everybody. You can continue using the spell. It's still going.
You're just giving us
30.
more chances to fail.
Exactly. That's how stealth works. Oof, well, you guys are crushing it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
This dragon will not know the wiser.
You guys disappear into the woods, slowly making your way in the direction you need to travel for the rest of your journey here, for your final destination of this house on a hill. That seems to be the last stop on the map. As you continue, you turn around and occasionally check behind you just in case you're being followed. And you see a winged figure circling around the hill, sending fire down into the trees below. But it doesn't seem to be following any particular path. It's just circling, expanding its search range. You've gotten away for now.
Wow, that for now's doing a lot of work in that sentence.
It is.
All right, good night, Jordan.
No,
Is there a dice roll to take away those last two words?
yeah.
We are running a few minutes late here, but I do want to cover a few things before we finish for this week. The two magic items you uncovered were a circlet of blasting and gloves of thievery. Whoever wants those may have them. And Soren, the gem you picked up, you may just add 20 gold pieces to your inventory instead of a gem, just to make it simple.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did
What does the blasting do? Circlet of blasting.
I wonder how fucked we were gonna end up if we like got caught.
Or
Extremely.
So the circle of blasting, you don't have to attune to it, you just have to wear it, and while you're wearing it, it gives you the spell Scorching Ray that you can use once per day to cast with, and you don't have to know spells to do it. It just like lets you, it casts like from the circlet. So it's like a once per day spell basically, which is pretty nice. And then the gloves of thievery are they completely blend into your skin. They become invisible while you wear them, and you gain a +5 bonus to sleight of hand checks or lockpicking checks.
I feel like the gloves go to either Darbeck or Quiniana there, because
Yeah, I'm proficient in thieves' tools as well.
it's the only question is is skin literal?
Well, they just become they become invisible as part of their enchantment. Is basically the ticket there.
I mean, I really love those gloves, and I'd definitely be willing to get rid of the potions to have the gloves.
Seems
this
fine
point-
to me.
Darbeck is not really worried about it because he just trusts in his skills.
All right.
He would like them, but if someone else wants them more, he will give them up.
So give those to Quiniana. You got gloves of thievery. I believe you should be able to edit like a little box next to sleight of hand to add a +5 next to the dex. If you want to add that there, since you have them.
Okay.
And similarly,
Do I need... Let's see, does that do it? Yeah. Okay.
like there's a little do you see what I'm talking about? Sorry.
I think so.
Yeah, like right before the +2, there's like a little box you should hopefully be able to
Oh, yeah.
add a thing. If you have thieves' tools, which I don't think you do yet, but in the future you should be able to edit them to add a +5 to them as well. It's like an item
I
for
thought I did have thieves' tools, but
you might have just taken proficiency and not bought them. Is possible.
Okay, in that case, I'll give the gloves to Darbeck.
I can check your D&D Beyond character sheet, just make sure I didn't miss them, because I totally could have. I don't see them, and they are expensive. They're more expensive than the gold you had remaining, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd let you retcon that, but you don't. Quiniana, unfortunately, not enough money to buy proper thieves' tools just yet. Not right this moment, but
Being a spy doesn't mean I have them. It
yeah.
just means I can use them.
Okay, so that's going to Darbeck for now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So did you hear that about the bonus, Darbeck?
Yeah, is that under effects?
No, so if you go to attributes and like your skills on the left side, right? Down next
Yeah.
to sleight of hand, right before the +5 after Dex, there's a box. You can enter in a custom number there, or you should be able to if I did it right.
Okay. And oops, not equals. Is it just 5 or
I
+5?
think if you just add 5, I think.
Let's see if that works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, +10.
There you go. And then
For the thieves tools,
if you open those up under the details section, you should add a tool bonus of 5.
details, tool bonus 5.
Alrighty. The other item was a circlet of blasting.
Is anybody here not a caster?
Whole bunch of mages in this group, huh?
Well, I have
The bunch
spells.
of
but I wouldn't-
wizards.
I have spells, but I wouldn't consider myself a caster. I'm a magician.
Same, I'm a ranger, but I have spells.
Does anybody already have Scorching Earth?
Yes.
Alright, so somebody who doesn't already have it, who wants to claim it?
It would probably be most useful in somebody that doesn't already have a good ranged attack, because that's what the spell is.
Not me then.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of range
I've
stuff.
got some good. I have range spells, so
Everyone here is too well rounded.
I have a bow. That's about all I have for range stuff.
Right, you get the circlet.
We're gonna have to make decisions faster. We're gonna have a lot of decisions to make. Jeez.
All right. Boop. Let's see. So if I do this,
How does income work in this game, or does it not?
how does income work? Sorry,
Yeah.
what do you mean by that?
Like, so because I chose whatever background or lifestyle, I started with 15 gold or something like that.
Mhm.
Is that just what I have to work with?
Oh, your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is how much you expend to get that lifestyle. So that's like
Okay.
So if you lived a very poor lifestyle, you would only need to spend like a few copper per day or whatever to like entertain a poor lifestyle. If you were a noble, you'd be
Mhm.
used to spending like 10 gold a day or whatever, right? Pretty crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then some features and downtime stuff will let you say like, while doing this downtime activity, you sustain a like a common or whatever the rating is, I forget. You know, like a middle of the line lifestyle, and also get these benefits or whatever. But we probably won't go into that too much in this campaign. I don't plan for much downtime.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So good stuff there. Yeah, so now those magic items are handed out, I also wanted to cover the pages you uncover, which just describe a little bit after the traveler enters the Shadowfell for the first time. And they describe a large graveyard with lots of open graves and a large mausoleum in the middle with a large coffin, ornate, sealed away. And the Vistani family seems to just move out of this place. They don't seem to pay it much mind. It's just their entrance to the Shadowfell. And they continue on into the mist, and that's where the pages end. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you all for playing.
Thanks
We
for
had a good
running.
time. We got through so much of the map in one session.
Yeah.
Woo!
Woo! We got so many pages.
Dragon's
Yeah,
not
we were pretty
happy.
lucky.
Yeah, you guys. When I asked you to roll low or high, that was gonna. I rolled a D100 behind the scenes to determine if the dragon was coming back early or if it even left in the first place. Things like that. You guys guessed correct every time, so you got very lucky there, and you rolled really well on the stealth checks. So you pissed off a dragon.
Your dragon puzzle.
You did. You
If we
solved
were
the dragon
wrong-
puzzle.
If we
You know,
were
it's
wrong
a
on a
good
high or low,
time.
it was going to show up.
If you were wrong, it was going to show up early. Yeah.
Oh,
You know, it's a good time when the lowest stealth check in a round is a 25.
Yeah. You guys are very sneaky. All right. Well, we'll meet again in a couple weeks, same time. That was still one of the sessions everybody could make it for, right? I think so. The 20th?
No, I
Yeah.
think. Wait, what day is it?
The 20th.
20th? Yeah, I should be able to make it.
Awesome.
August
20th of this
or
month.
July.
Yeah, July
Um,
20th.
That should work for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking for hard commitments. I understand, but just making sure. So yeah, we'll plan to meet then. Thanks again for playing, guys. And everyone has a good night.
We're very